This is Sportscentre.
Hey, I'm Marissa Verdon's Digital Sportscentre, presented by Montana's BBQ and Bar. After a break on New Year's Day, the knockout stage of the World Juniors has finally arrived. A quarterfinal quadruple header is already underway on TSN, which will be capped off by a grudge match between Canada and Czechia. Remember, Canada got knocked out by Czechia at this exact stage in last year's tourney. And to get us primed for this critical clash, we were bringing in our guy from Ottawa, Mark Masters. Great to see you.
Happy knockout stage, Marissa.
All right, Mark, we all know what happened last year in last year's quarters against Czechia. How much of a role do you think redemption will play for Canada, especially for the returning players and staff?
For sure, the returning guys would love to get revenge. Defenseman Oliver Bonk told me it's great to get a second chance, but the Czechs will draw confidence from what happened last year. They have a number of returning players who know it is possible to take Canada out at this stage of the tournament. For the most part, I got to say that Canada's mind is not on what happened last year. It's not on the Czechs. It's about staying out of the penalty box, Marissa.
While Canada allowed just 7 goals in the preliminary round, the best mark of any country, they struggled to light the lamp. Only 3 teams scored fewer than their 10 goals. What can our boys do to turn it around offensively?
Canada scored just 4 goals in 5-on-5 play in the preliminary round. It's a crazy stat, but generally speaking, they're happy with the quantity of chances they're generating. I'm looking at 2 guys in particular tonight, Berkeley Catton and Gavin McKenna, who play together on that second scoring line. They may be the most snake-bitten players on the team. Dave Cameron wants them to hit the net a bit more when they do get their chances and get to the inside a bit more, and then the coach feels like the breakthrough will come. It's only a matter of time. But Marissa, they're running out of time.
And lastly, you mentioned discipline. We know that was a big focus after their loss to the Americans. How important will it be to stay out of the box against the Czechs, who have already scored a tournament-leading 25 goals?
Well, they had a big team meeting about discipline yesterday, a lot of frank discussion, and they believe it will be better here tonight. It's funny, the Czechs are also talking a lot about discipline. They took 7 penalties against Sweden on New Year's Eve. They feel like that's the reason they lost that game. Marissa, whoever can be the more disciplined team tonight probably has the best chance of winning.
Thanks again for joining us, Mark. Enjoy the game tonight.
I'm always disciplined, Marissa.
I mean, yeah, that is how I would describe Mark Masters. Always disciplined. And you can catch Canada continue their quest for gold tonight against the Czechs on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. And to my fellow Canadians, I know you have concerns. I have them too. We will watch together and try to breathe. It's a new year, and we've got a full slate of hockey for the second day of 2025, including 2 Canadian division leaders in the Leafs and Jets. Both teams being in first place this late in the season might be a bit of a shock, but will they still be there by the end of the season? Let's start in the Atlantic, where the battle for first is much tighter. As things stand, Toronto and Florida have the same amount of points with 48, but Boston is just 4 points back. And Tampa and Ottawa have games at hand that can get them close too. This season, the Buds are 8-4-1 against their own division, but they still have to face the 4 teams behind them a total of 9 times. The division truly is a toss-up, but the path to a Central Division crown looks a lot less murky for the Jets. Winnipeg has been at the top since the get-go, and are 5 points up on Minnesota for first. Colorado and Dallas are still in the mix, but 9 and 10 points is a lot to make up. If there's a team to worry about if you're a Jets fan, it's definitely the Avs. Winners of 9 of their last 11, including their 5th in a row on New Year's Eve against the Jets. Colorado is finally hitting their stride thanks to star power and goaltending. Since joining the Avs, Mackenzie Blackwood is 5-1, with a 1.85 goals against and a .936 save percentage. He hasn't given up more than 2 goals in a start, and that's a perfect compliment to Nathan MacKinnon being first in the NHL in points, and Cale Makar leading all D-men in that category. Again, 9 points is a lot to make up, but Winnipeg fans should be weary of the Avs, and I fear I must disclose that an Avs fan did write the script. And viewers in the Jets region can catch them hosting the Ducks tonight. Puck drop is scheduled for just after 7 Central on TSN 3. Time now for our favorite segment and yours, Why We Love Sports Today.
Why we love sports today.
And for it, we're heading to New York, where an unheralded rookie had a major impact on New Year's Day. Tyler Pollock was selected by the Knicks early in the second round of the 2024 draft, and has played sparingly this season, averaging a little over 2 points, playing in just over 6 minutes of average floor time in over 20 games. However, yesterday he had a starring role for the Westchester Knicks of the G League, dropping career highs in points with 36 and dimes with 11 in 40 minutes of an overtime victory. But Pollock's day was not done there. After Jalen Brunson and Deuce McBride were both forced to miss New York's game with injuries, Pollock got the news that he'd be making the 1-hour trek down from White Plains, New York to Madison Square Garden to join the big club ahead of their 7 p.m. tip-off with Utah.
About that piece of being a pro, having to focus and go out here and play a game and then turn on that other gear and go play with the Knicks.
Like you said, we got to be professionals. It's our job, so come here in the morning, go down there at night, hopefully get 2 wins.
And he didn't just dress. Pollock played another 12 minutes of action in the Knicks' victory over the Jazz. So he did pick up those 2 wins he was hoping for, while also logging 4 assists and 2 points on this slick drive.
Shamit. Pollock finds some room, lays it up and in.
And after the game, Pollock was as humble as you could be.
How were your legs coming into tonight?
It was good. I had a few hours in between on Normatex. I just tried to do what I could to recover and just be ready to go.
Do you play this morning just thinking, yes, there's a chance I can play? Do you have to prepare yourself for that?
Yeah, it's more mental than anything. Obviously 2 guys go out with injury, so kind of got to step in and be ready to go no matter the circumstances. No matter who's out, just always got to be ready to go.
There must be something to the warm-up of the game before the game, though, giving him all kinds of confidence, no? Okay, let's talk a little more juniors, sort of. Because around the office, Jesse Pollock claims to be the biggest eater on the staff, which honestly is something that a lot of us just blindly believe because, first of all, look at his jibs, okay? Second, he's always talking about munch. Any shoot that we have, any event, it's all about food for him. There's no other option. We're supposed to be in the middle of a shoot. It doesn't matter. We need to stop to order food. And then he makes a whole production about it. Like it's, so I don't know if he eats the most or if he's just the most annoying about eating the most, you know? So our lovely sponsors, Montana's, put that to the test. As Jesse, Luca, and Pock did a little Montana-style road trip on the way to the World Juniors.
What could be more Canadian than going to see the World Juniors in our nation's capital?
What's up, you horses? In the car with Pock at the wheel, Luca in the back. We're about to absolutely smack Montana's.
It's beautiful!
Does it get better than this?
World Junior Hockey and Montana's Barbecue and Bar.
So many good options. You got ribs, you got steak, you got brisket. I don't know.
Lobster.
This is gonna be a deluxe order right now.
Mabby's have the double surf your turf with the 12-ounce strip loin, please. Go big or go home, right, Rick? For good measure, can we throw in an extra lobster tail? Should I do 2 extra lobster tails?
Go ahead, get messy.
Be careful what you wish for, Montana's.
All right, boys, quick update. Jesse, starting to put a little dent in it. The mitts, those are working man's mitts.
They're saucy.
We munched, we talked some puck, and we munched some more. Gotta say, feels like we're a lock for a medal this year. But like every tourney, I'm worried about the Americans. You know, they won last year. They've got some good guys coming back. Always a threat.
What is this guy doing?
He's meditating for dessert. He's trying to force room in his stomach for dessert.
I'm actually doing breathing exercises after eating so much.
After some meditating and dessert, they even tossed the antlers on me. And just like that, we were back on the road to Ottawa.
All right, we're officially tapping out.
I think if someone put a pin towards my belly right now, I would just like explode or pop. That was just an insane amount of food. And it was delicious.
I doubted you, but you showed that you're a big time player today.
Monster muncher, and I'm gonna go much more when I get to the World J's.
I will be asleep in my hotel room when you go do that.
And you know we had to hit up the Montanas in Canada to get fueled up for the game, baby.
We are so back with the lobster tail. We have a visitor. Montana the Moose with the Christmas hat on.
After more munching, I was officially ready for puck drop and Canada's run for gold at the juniors. And a massive New Year's Eve clash with the Americans.
It's time, Canada. This is business. New Year's Eve, Canada, USA doesn't get better than this, folks. And for the first time ever at a hockey game, I'm not hungry. Let's go!
4 lobster tails, Jesse? 4? That's insane. What? I don't, okay. That actually just irritates me. I'm just mad at this point, you know? Like, and you guys didn't even order the antojitos. It's, you know what? It's okay. Montana's, I understand, you know, the boys have to go, but I'm going to do a little rally myself. I'll do it right. You got to order the antojitos first, guys. You messed up. 4 lobster tails. Wow. That's it for me today. We'll see you right back at around 3 Eastern. No Pacific. Have a good one.